Hello YouTube, I am Torstein from Cinema Terror, and let's go back to the 80s and talk about the forgotten Lamberto Bava giallo, mostly known as Midnight Ripper or You'll Die at Midnight. Even though the story in You'll Die at Midnight is pretty formulaic, I guess I should give a quick synopsis of it. In this film we first get familiar with a young man named Nicola, played by Leonardo Triviglio. After discovering that his wife is cheating on him and confronting her, he bruises her up and leaves her in anger. Right after he leaves, his wife is brutally stabbed and Nicola is now made into the primary suspect.
Io ti ammazzo! Ti ammazzo! No!
He tries to get help from his friend Anna, played by Valeria Diobici. She's a criminal psychologist who believes him and tries to help him out by joining Detective Piero Terzi. During their investigation, Anna becomes convinced that the murder and those who follows is done by a serial killer named Franco Tribù. The problem with that theory is that Franco has been dead for several years. Is Nicola being set up? Could he actually be the killer? Or has Franco found a way to fake his death and is back active slashing up women left and right? You will have to watch You'll Die at Midnight to find out. This film is a made-for-TV giallo film made in 1986 when the Italian horror cinema has already started to decline. The filmmakers had less and less to work with, which showed in the quality that was produced. That doesn't mean that there aren't quality films to be found out there from 85 and upwards, but you will have to swim through a lot of lesser efforts to find them. While it certainly is hit and miss, even before and after the horror boom was over in Italy, it still brings up some excitement in me when I'm able to press play on a film directed by Lamberto Bava, here under the credit of John Old Jr. Sad to say though, You'll Die at Midnight is not a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Instead, this is a by-the-numbers giallo that has been forgotten for a reason. The lack of suspense and stuff that stands out hurts this film, especially the later, as this is a made-for-a-TV production, and it feels like they had to hold back on the violence and nudity. If this was made for cinema earlier in the decade, then the sleaze factor would have been way higher, and watching this will leave you wanting more of what many consider to be the good stuff, as the murder mystery won't do much for you. Instead of that, we get a lot of police procedure and scenes with characters walking around in the beautiful Italian city talking about the case, but it did not do much for me to get engaged in it. The film goes a bit from viewpoint of character to character, with Nicola, Anna and Piero all becoming the leading character at some point in the film. None of them gave me much, although I did enjoy watching Paolo Malco as Detective Piero the most, who you might recognize from several great Italian films, such as the two Lucio Fulci ones, The House by the Cemetery and The New York Ripper. Even if he gets the majority of these walking and talking scenes that I've already spoken negative about, in this he's just one of those old school rough, tough cops that are enjoyable to watch on screen even if you don't care what he's talking about.
Tribù uccideva all'aperto, questo ammazza nei teatri, negli appartamenti, nei negozi. È soltanto un imitatore. Però sì.
Another thing that people would look for in a giallo is of course how stylish it is visually. While not an ugly film, there isn't that much of a treat to be found in this film. It also lacks the weirdness that some of the earlier giallos had, that might not have made all that much sense, but did set the films apart from one another. There are however music by Claudio Simonetti to be found there. Nothing extraordinary, but a nice touch to the experience. You'll Die at Midnight is not the worst giallo you can find, especially if you venture into the forgotten later 80s ones. But it is also not a good film. If you are a super giallo fan, then I wouldn't be surprised if you will find some enjoyment in this, even if it didn't do all that much for me. For those who are not into giallos, then this is not something you should seek out. I found the film to be lacking, and as such, You'll Die at Midnight only gets a score of 2 out of 5. Have you seen You'll Die at Midnight? What did you think of it, and how do you think it holds up compared to other giallos of the second half of the 80s? If you enjoy giallos in general, then I do recommend checking out my review, and of course the movie itself, of the new highly stylish Spanish one called The Glass Coffin. Subscribe, like and all of that good stuff if you think the video was good, and I hope to see you again next time here on Cinema Terror.